The Hathor Material Messages from an Ascended Civilization. Tom Kenyon and Virginia Essene. Chapter 1. Who we are and why we have come.
Virginia. Since I want to introduce you Hathors in a way that will help people feel a sense of intimacy, please describe how many are in the group or council that are working to bring us this information. And please give any identifying factors about your interests or areas of expertise in different fields. We would like to get that information in this first chapter so people can have a sense of meeting you, as it were. Hathors. We are a group of 10. There are actually 13 of us, but 3 are not involved in the transmission of this material. They are witnesses and stand back from this process. The 10 of us are expressing more or less as a group consciousness and are being channeled primarily through one of our group whose name is Ava. Virginia. Ava. Hathors. Yes, we are 10 individuals out of a civilization of several million. Our background includes what you would call a physician, a scientist, several teachers, and historians. There is one of us who is also what you might term a mystic or philosopher, although by nature we are all mystical and philosophical. So, in our group, we have very different and varying perspectives. Virginia. You obviously choose to do this. Can you give us the reason why? Hathors. We cherish and love our human brothers and sisters. We sense and we see a tremendous change unfolding on this planet. You are in the midst of a birthing process into a new dimension of consciousness. Our civilization has been through this process as well. We know intimately the birthing pains of passing through the portal of time and space into a greater reality. Therefore, out of our love and compassion and our joy to be with humans, we have chosen to bring forth this material in the hopes that it will assist you. Virginia. Well, we certainly thank you for that. Can you clarify for us this aspect of the feminine principle, this feminine, creative, fertile quality that the name Hathor seems to imply? Hathors. Yes, everything in the universe is cyclic in nature and dualistic in nature until you get to the fundamental octave that integrate all duality in unity. But all things in the universe, the physical universe and all the other subtle universes, have plurality. In terms of human metaphors, these polarities are masculine and feminine or positive and negative electrical charges. At the time of our coming to the early consciousness of mankind, your emerging consciousness was in touch with the Great Earth, which you might call the Great Mother. The great religions of the past did refer to Earth as the Great Mother. And so, it was that early consciousness here was deeply connected to this Earth matrix. This consciousness of Earth as feminine, so the feminine mysteries and the feminine nature were the fundamental expressions of consciousness. Then, as the feminine began to be overtaken by what would be termed the masculine we as witnesses observed certain things occurring. Humans began a disconnection from Earth and a movement into autonomy. While it is important that mankind come to a realization of its autonomy, being disconnected from the Earth and from the interconnectedness of all life is very dangerous. What is now happening is that human consciousness is beginning to sense that it must return to the honoring of the Great Mother Earth, and this is a cyclic progression. In the early formative period of Egyptian cosmology, the goddess Hathor was associated with the sky. It was later that Hathor became identified as a fertility goddess. It is no accident that her name and ours are similar. We seeded and assisted this early symbol of the feminine mystery. The goddess Hathor does have an independent existence separate from us, and she is what might be termed an archetypal pattern. She is a cosmic force that can be metaphorized, and we, as a culture, have identified with her qualities of love, ecstasy, and bliss. Presently, human consciousness has gone through two polarities, the Earth's consciousness of Mother, and then the autonomy or masculine consciousness of Father, but neither coming together. What is happening is that the two must come together so that masculine and feminine are in balance. It is no accident that this process of each human coming to terms with his or her own androgyny, his or her own male-femaleness, must occur. There is a sensing of those who are aware and awake that the feminine and the masculine must be balanced. They realize the war must be ended between the male and female polarities so that thus the autonomy of the masculine principle and the receptivity of the feminine can return to balance. As the feminine arises again out of the ashes, so to speak, the ancient mysteries of Egypt are returning. And the returning of this knowledge is simply an assistance. What humans choose to do with it is their own free will choice. But the concept is returning, and many of you are remembering your roots in ancient Egypt and these earlier times, because it is a time for the feminine to reawaken. But let us suggest the feminine is returning in a different way than before as a balanced principle, not totally feminine, not totally masculine, but an androgynous merging of the two in balance.